What's up guys, Waggly here, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing and showing you guys the Scrolla, which is a scroll wheel for your controller. I got this for about $60, $50 for the scroll wheel, and then $10 for tax and shipping. You can use this for scroll wheel reset and interacting. You can bind them to other things if you wanted, but those are obviously the most optimal and most likely why you would buy it. There's also an extra button that's bindable. You can bind it to whatever you want, like your ping button or one of your weapon slots or something like that. This is made by a company, Scrolla. Make sure to check them out in the description. I bought this off their site on Etsy, and if you're buying this, you need to make sure to check the restock times, because every time they restock, they'll sell out in around 10 minutes. Another very important thing to note is it doesn't work on console. This scroll wheel is only working at PC at the moment, but I believe they are working on console compatibility for the future. And right now, the controllers the scroll wheel works with are any type of Xbox and PS4 controllers. Sadly, this isn't available for the PS5 controllers yet. However, I assume this is working for the next gen Xbox controller since it is very similar to the previous Xbox controllers. So let's get right into the unboxing and setup. Okay, so in the package it comes with an Anchor USB to USB-C cable. It's nice that they went with a very high quality cable because I know this brand Anchor and they make very high quality products. It has a bunch of zip ties and then some bubble wrap over here. I'm assuming it's the scroll wheel. And it comes with this nice letter here that says, "Thank you for your purchase. We hope you enjoy your new Scrolla." And then it tells you to go to this website, which will tell you how to set it up. I'm gonna read that in a minute. It also says, remember this is a 3D printed item, so do not apply heavy pressure on the wheel when installing, and please scroll with care. If you have any questions about your order, reach out to us on SD. If you are happy with your purchase, please consider leaving some positive feedback. And then their Twitter. I think it's very nice that they leave a letter in the box just to show their appreciation for your order. Okay, so now I'm gonna read these instructions and try to set it up. Okay, so here's the actual scroll wheel. So you scroll this as the scroll wheel, and it comes with a nice clicky button here, and then the USB-C port. For my first impressions, this feels very high quality, even though it's 3D printed. It doesn't feel like this is gonna break or anything, which is really important. Okay, I have to take off this red slip right here. I need to make sure to center this on the controller so I can put it on properly. Okay, I just put it on. All right, this is what it looks like. I just put it on. I think it's pretty centered. Now I have to plug in the cable that I have plugged into my PC into the Scrolla. Now I have both cables plugged in. I'm gonna hop onto Fortnite and see if this works. Okay, so if you noticed, I kind of zip tied these two cables together all the way over to my PC to make it a little more organized, to make use of like the 9,000 zip ties they give you. Okay, so first, the settings that you need to have in game are you need to actually go to your keyboard controls, because the scroll wheel and this extra button over here, they count as like mouse binds. Scroll wheel up is like mouse wheel up, and then scroll wheel down is like mouse wheel down. And also this other button counts as your middle mouse button. And if you want to use my binds, which are scrolling up is interact and scrolling down is resetting. If you want to do that, then you want to make your use bind. You want to have a secondary bind for that, and then mouse wheel up for your building edit, scroll down for mouse wheel down, and your reset building edit, scroll wheel down for mouse wheel down. And then you can bind your other button to whatever you want. Right now I have mine binded to ping, but you can bind it to whatever you want. Like if you want, you can bind it to one of your weapon slots even, which I think is pretty interesting since we've never had anything like that on controller before. But for now, I'm keeping mine as ping. Okay, now let's hop into a creative and test out how fast this is. Okay, so I've made it into a BH sheet. Now I'm gonna test picking up weapons using the scroll wheel up. Oh my god. Wow, that's actually very speedy. That is going to be such an advantage against other controller players for winning 50-50s when picking up weapons. Like, if you both land on a chest, you're going to have a much higher chance of picking it up with a scroll wheel. Wow, this is so speedy. I don't feel any delay whatsoever. Next, I'm going to try out this ping button here. I have it bound to ping. Yup, works just like you'd expect. It is a very convenient ping button that you can quickly press without having to move your hands off the joysticks. But now I'm going to test out the main reason someone would get this scroll wheel, for resetting. Okay, wow, it actually works. And this is super fast, wow. This feels just like scroll wheel reset on keyboard, what? This is crazy. I'm literally effortlessly resetting these walls here. Wow, that is very fast resetting. And again, guys, all I'm doing is scrolling down and it resets a wall. That is so sick. And I just think the placement of this scroll wheel and this other bind here are perfect. Literally, it's so convenient just for my middle finger to use while not affecting any of my other binds. And while I'm building, I'll just leave my middle finger like resting on this scroll wheel for whenever I need to reset anything without affecting my normal builds at all. So, how comfortable is this controller? Well, at first, it did feel a little weird, I'm gonna be honest, because there is a big box type thing with the cord in the middle of your two triggers on the top of your controller. And I was worried at first that it would affect my other builds, but after using it for only a few hours, I fully got used to that. Now I don't even realize that's there, and my skill has not been affected negatively at all. I think this controller is super comfortable to hold, and pressing the custom button or scrolling the scroll wheel is super natural. Like before I even used the controller at all, like my first time ever trying the controller, it was super natural for my finger to just scroll on the wheel, like that. I didn't even have to get used to that at all. Obviously, I had to relearn muscle memory to not press my old binds, but it always felt super natural to scroll the wheel. Like, I personally wouldn't have thought to put the scroll wheel on the top. I always thought if a scroll wheel were to ever come to controller, it would go somewhere lower down on the controller. But this placement, especially for the scroll wheel, my finger is already there. I don't need to move them much at all in order to scroll. And plus, I can scroll while pressing my trigger, even though it's the same finger. Also, if the scroll wheel were to be somewhere else on the controller, it may affect pressing paddles if you have them, like I do. The 4 paddles I use occupy my pinky and ring fingers, so there wouldn't be any fingers left for a scroll wheel. That's why it's very smart to put it on the top, where I can efficiently press both of them even though I'm using the same finger. So my overall thoughts of this controller are it's amazing. I've had so much fun using this, and I will definitely keep using it in the future. And now I wanted to talk about, is it bannable? Obviously, it's not bannable because I would not be using this in-game or advertising this all in a video. And you might be wondering, how is this not bannable? This is literally a scroll wheel on your controller. Like, how is that allowed? And it's allowed because it falls under the same category as, like, controller paddles. Like, if you can see on the back of my controller, I have 4 paddles on the back. They're all binded to another button on my controller. And that's pretty much the same thing as this scroll wheel. It's allowed because it's just bound to a scroll wheel bind. There's nothing against terms of service with this, and this is totally safe to use. And also, by the way, the scroll wheel doesn't take away aim assist or anything like that. Again, if it did, I would not be using it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If it helped you out, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. If you want to get this controller for yourself, it'll be linked in the description. And also, follow my Twitter in the description. See you guys next time. Bye.